want to start with the keto diet. This is probably the most common diet that a lot of people follow, especially if the goal is weight loss. The keto diet focuses on low carb, high fat intake. It's also fat metabolism forcing. Now, makes sense, right? Because if you're eating a diet that's high in fats but low in carbs, carbohydrates is our body's preferred source of energy. Once we intake carbs, our bodies take it and produce glucose, right? Energy. So that we can, conduct physical activity and even for our internal bodily processes as well. It focuses on metabolizing the fat that you have in your system for energy. Because when there's no carbs, right, fats can be used, fats can be metabolized and, produced as an energy source. So that's the purpose behind the keto diet. Benefits: HDL increase, LDL decrease, and it can lower your blood glucose. When you're following a low carb diet, right, a low carb structure of any kind, blood glucose is going to be lowered as well because your body essentially doesn't have enough carbs to be able to create the glucose it needs. So it's going to turn over to fats, which is, like I said, the whole purpose of the keto diet. However, there's some disadvantages. I talked about this in my carbohydrate video. One of the very first videos I ever made. There's what's called ketoacidosis. What that is it's when you have an enormous amount of ketone bodies in your bloodstream and they become acidic, okay? That requires medical attention if you get to that point. You see, when you start on the keto diet, within that first week or so, from what I remember, your body, it reaches a state of ketosis. Now that's normal, okay? Ketosis is normal, and if you're doing the diet right, your body's supposed to maintain that state for as long as you're doing the diet, for as long as you're following on it, right? But if those ketone bodies, right, the ketosis, if it gets out of whack or it gets out of hand, if you will, ketoacidosis can happen. Some other disadvantages can be bad breath, headaches, fatigue, constipation, and dehydration. You do want to be careful about the keto diet. Like I said, it's perfect when it's followed the way it's supposed to be. You want to make sure that, I always tell people who follow the keto diet that they understand that it's a low carb diet and not a no carb, okay? It's still recommended that you eat about 50 to 75 grams of carbs in your diet per day. It's been found to be enough for your body to be able to, sustain itself, bodily processes, and still be able to produce some glucose while turning over the fats when the glucose runs out. That's essentially what the keto diet is about. It's good, but it can be bad if not, followed the way it's supposed to be.